and from there to referral hospitals. In order to effectively carry out these responsibilities, our public health officers will need to be mobile.
It was 4 months ago, roughly, that I helped to lay the foundation stone of this building. And it's amazing to see how quickly it's managed to be built and ready for operation in such a short period of time.
For 24 years, Riders for Health Operations has been constantly applauded by their distinguished service, improving access to 12 million people. They are highly rated by their partners not by virtue of their expertise, but reliability and ardent response within the global health sector, with an unbeatable history of reaching the inaccessible.
The Gambia was a very important country in the start of what we began then. But you may wonder, you may or you may not wonder, why Barry and I started what we do. We both came from a background that made sure that we understood about vehicles, and in my particular case motorcycles, but we understood about engines and vehicles. And why Riders for Health became very important to us was because it made us very, very angry that vehicles that had been invented, the internal combustion engine was invented more than 100 years ago, and yet at the time we started Riders, we realised that there are men, women and children dying of easily preventable and curable disease in rural communities in Africa simply because they can't be reached.
Previous year I was in Somalia, where by accident, or actually because for one reason or another Andrea sent me, but where we saw a lot of broken down vehicles of all kinds that were supposed to be used for healthcare delivery. And because they were broken, they were going to do no such thing. And one of the very striking things about that, this is the Ministry of Health, one of the very striking things was how many new vehicles there were that were stranded forever because they're missing a 50-cent part. They're never going to move again. But a vehicle that probably cost then, I don't know, $30,000 was sitting uselessly.
The British-founded charity currently has 200 personnel in the Gambia and service government fleet of 110 vehicles with 180 motorbikes meant for delivery of primary health care services to the rural poor. Babukar Kamara, GRTS.
Well, we're going to take a very short break now. The news continues in just a moment.
The NAWEC Staff Association, under the Chief Guest of Honor, His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yaya AJJ Jammeh, is staging its 3rd annual gala dinner and dance in association with the international superstar Asanjai of Senegal, Joliba Kouyaté and Abu and Fafa. This program is in support of His Excellency's drive to turn the Gambia into a city-state by providing all basic and essential services such as electricity and water to the Gambian populace irrespective of where they live. The gala dinner is slated for the 25th of January 2013 at the Senegambia Beach Hotel. Tables are as follows: Platinum $60,000 Diamond $50,000 Gold $40,000 and Silver $35,000 Each table comes with 10 gala dinner tickets and cash power raffle tickets. Individual tickets $1,500 January 25th, that is the dance at the Paradise Suites Hotel, Penchami Hall. The tickets are as follows: VIP $600, Ordinary $400. Chief Guest of Honor for the night: Modu Turo Dabo, Aja Chan Khan and Fatu Toure. And at Brikama Joko, which is January 27th, the tickets are $200 flat. Chief Guest of Honor: Lamin Sane, Governor of West Coast Region, Aja Fatu Sow, Farato Alcalo and Amidou Ja Oil. For reservations, please call 366-4096, 997-3500, 384-6607, 980-2992.
Welcome back to GRTS News. France has started phase 2 of its military operations in Mali. Paris has confirmed that a team of its special forces are taking on the rebels in close combat actions to take over the strategic town of Jabali from radical elements of the Islamist group known as Al-Qaeda in Maghreb region. Meanwhile, more French troops have left the capital Bamako en route to Jabali to reinforce the troops currently battling the rebels. We have details in this report.
Are beginning the most difficult phase of their operation so far. Troops set out overnight from Bamako, the capital in the south, to arrive in the north. They are maximum alert here in Niono, 50 kilometers from Diabali, that was seized by insurgents Monday.
Within the next few hours, it could be in 2 or 72 hours, we will engage in direct combat.
Special forces are reported to be engaged in close combat with Islamists from the Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb Wednesday in Diabali. The Islamists are using the local civilian population as human shields. According to the French defense minister, the Islamists here are described as the toughest, most fanatical and best organized. And they took this tank from the Malian army.
We are dealing with several hundred, 1,000 or 1,300 highly organized terrorists in the zone, and they could have reinforcements tomorrow.
The mission of French troops is to begin ground operations and destroy the Islamist movement in the north. The French army is seeking support from Burkina Faso, Niger and Mauritania. France wants these three countries to follow Algeria's example and to shut their borders so jihadists are trapped in northern Mali and prevented from crisscrossing Malian borders at will. President François Hollande, in a press conference in Paris, justified the military operation.
France is defending values and has no interest in Mali. It has no economic or political interests. It is simply working for peace.
While France remains alone as the only European Union country engaged in military operations in Mali, Germany followed Belgium's example, providing logistical support with 2 Transall planes to transport Afghan troops to the scene of military operations led by France.
Syrian government and rebels have blamed each other for the deadly blast that ripped through Aleppo's main university complex. The blast left more than 80 people dead and many others with injuries. The Free Syrian Army says a government fighter jet bombed the facility as students were taking their exams, an accusation denied by authorities in Damascus. We have details in this report.
2 explosions racked the University of Aleppo, Syria's second-largest city, devastating buildings, wrecking cars, and killing scores of students taking exams on campus. The carnage caused at least 87 deaths, according to the Syrian Human Rights Observatory. That figure is expected to increase, with more than 160 people injured, some in serious condition. But the truth about who is responsible appears to be buried in the wreckage. Opposition rebel fighters said the university was the target of an air raid by the Assad regime. The official Sana press agency reported that terrorists launched 2 rockets against buildings on campus. This was in a sector controlled by the regime's army. We have always said that the armed terrorist groups in my country systematically take advantage of Security Council meetings to perpetrate terrorist acts inside Syria. The Assad regime is determined to crush the rebel fighters, or terrorists as it calls them. The regime continues to carry out raids against areas of Aleppo controlled by the rebels. Civilians hit and killed apparently do not count.
Well, we're going to take a very short break now. We'll bring you sports when we come back.